Hello and welcome to Assembly News Now. This is multimedia editor Jennifer Pierce, and here's what's happening with product assembly on November 5th. Honda improves ATV assembly in North Carolina. Production has begun at Hyundai's new assembly plant in Georgia. Scania is installing remanufactured parts in new vehicles. And for our top story, labor unions are making a comeback. And finally, Kia finds a novel way to recycle plastic waste from the ocean. These Assembly News Now stories after a brief message from our 2024 sponsor Promes, an industry leader for complete turnkey monitoring and motion systems. Honda has opened new welding and painting lines at its assembly plant in Swepsonville, North Carolina. The improvements are part of a $21.5 million investment that will establish the plant as Honda's exclusive manufacturing facility for ATVs in North America. Honda also announced that the plant will be the company's first in North America to manufacture electric ATVs and power equipment. The plant has been making gas-powered ATVs, mowers, snowblowers, and other machines for more than 40 years. New cars have begun rolling off the assembly line at Hyundai's massive new factory in Ellabelle, Georgia, just 2 years after construction began. Located near Savannah, the $7.6 billion factory is the largest economic development project in the state's history. At capacity, the factory is expected to employ 8,500 people. In addition, 18 companies have set up shop nearby to supply the plant with parts. The first vehicle that is being produced at the plant is the 2025 Ioniq 5, an electric SUV. Scania, a European manufacturer of trucks and buses, is installing remanufactured gearboxes in new vehicles at its assembly plant in Södertälje, Sweden. The remanufactured gearboxes are subjected to the same rigorous quality and function tests as gearboxes that are made from entirely new parts. However, the remanufactured gearboxes consume 50% less material and produce 45% fewer carbon emissions than new gearboxes. And now for today's top story. According to the latest data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the union membership rate in the U.S. was just 10% last year. That's half what it was 40 years earlier. However, that percentage could be growing over the next few years. Here to tell us more is Chief Editor of Assembly Magazine, John Sprovieri.
From October 2023 to September 2024, the National Labor Relations Board received 3,286 union election petitions, up 27% from the previous fiscal year. Similarly, charges of unfair labor practices have increased by 7%. Labor experts say that the rapid economic recovery, the tight labor market, and high inflation have shifted power to workers who are organized. Many organizing drives fail because employers will illegally fire workers involved in unionization efforts. But when unemployment is low and companies are desperate to hire, workers are less fearful about unionizing because other jobs are available. Public opinion on unions is also trending up. A Gallup poll published in September found that 7 in 10 Americans approve of unions. That's the most since 1965. Another contributing factor has to be the UAW's huge success last fall in negotiating new contracts with the Detroit 3 automakers. Among other things, the contracts include a 27% wage increase and a shorter timeline to the top wage. That deal prompted other automakers with non-union workforces to increase pay as well, the so-called UAW bump. Tesla, Volkswagen, Honda, Nissan, Hyundai, Toyota, and Subaru have all raised wages this year. That success has unions feeling their oats for the first time in years. For example, more than 33,000 machinists at Boeing went on strike September 13th, the first by the union since 2008. Boeing has offered a 30% pay increase over 4 years, plus a $9,360 a year contribution to 401k accounts and lower healthcare premiums. But the machinists union is refusing to settle for less than a 40% raise and a restoration of pensions. The strike has been disastrous for Boeing, which is already reeling from quality concerns and congressional hearings. It has cost the company billions of dollars, and a settlement is unlikely anytime soon. Weeks after the machinists walked off the job, the longshoremen's union went on strike October 1st. The strike involved more than 47,000 workers and affected 36 ports along the East Coast and Gulf Coast. Thankfully, dock workers reached a tentative deal just 2 days later. The deal gives workers a 61% wage increase over the next 6 years and promises to protect workers from being replaced by automation.
Thanks, John. And finally, Kia has introduced the world's first car accessory made from plastic waste retrieved from the ocean. Kia is producing a limited edition trunk liner for the EV3 electric SUV made from plastic recovered from the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, a huge expanse of floating trash north of the Hawaiian Islands. Kia is working with the nonprofit group Ocean Cleanup to extract the waste and either recycle it or dispose of it in a more ecological way. Made from 40% recycled ocean plastic, the liner is just as durable and protective as one made from virgin material. That's all for this edition of Assembly News Now. For all the latest news on assembly technology, visit assemblymag.com and follow us on social media. Thanks for watching, and tune in next month for another installment of Assembly News Now.